Good evening, everybody. It's a great honor and a privilege to have with us His Highness Yaduvir Krishnadatta Chamaraj Vadeyar, Prashant, Matthew, invitees, teachers, students, parents, all of you. It's a landmark evening for us, a landmark day, 10th year of the school. We have very fond memories and recollections of our humble beginning. As Mr. Matthew mentioned, from 40-odd students, we were actually, we strived hard to get to the 40 mark. I think we were 11 students when we started in the ExcelSoft campus with 4 classrooms. With the vision and the collective leadership, Mr. Matthew, Gubain, Prashant, many of you, my dear colleague teachers, your commitment and unwavering attention to key goals and objectives in the mandate of Excel Public School, we've kind of become a benchmark. As I've always said, it's a journey. Today, I'm very proud of Excel Public School. We have so many accomplishments. We have children who have had such great accomplishments, which Matthew described. That's fine. The real test for any educational institution, and particularly school and Excel Public School, we will know whether we have done a good job or not only 15, 20 years from now. Graduates who graduated from our school, probably the first batch was only a year ago. The graduates who are going to come out of the school this year and next year, when they get to higher education and eventually pursue aspirations, a dream, and get into careers, and when they become beacons, examples, and have illustrious careers, we will be very proud of them. And that is when we will know for sure that we actually did a good job when you were with us at Excel Public School. I want to talk a little bit about certain key ethos of Excel Public School. I would like to believe that we are reasonably successful in meeting some of the key objectives. And as I said, we have a long way to go, and where we have to make corrections, we will make corrections online. When we, the history is that ExcelSoft has been an education technology company. We believe we understand education systems. We work with different education systems across the world. We have had the opportunity and benefit of doing that, with particularly in the school sector. And we've been involved in creating appropriate technology platforms, applications, digital learning content, etc., for the kind of new world, the internet era, the digital content era, and the software era. While doing that, we worked with customers and via customers like publishers. We got great opportunity to work in different countries. the United Kingdom, Sweden, the United States, Far East, etc. So it was an opportunity for us to look at how they run their school systems quite closely. And they are different, but they have best practices which we can borrow and imbibe, obviously orienting it to our society, our systems. At that point in time, after about 10 years of doing that, we thought we were kind of ready to, and we had absorbed enough of those best practices, and we had the ability to bring it to fruition in the form of a school. And that's how Excel Public School was born. There were some key generic objectives, and it means a lot to us. One is we wanted and we want and will always want children who come to our school to enjoy learning, not see it as a burden. When they come to school and go back home, we would like them to look forward to coming back to school the next day. We want to see happy faces come in and happy faces go out. So there are all these accomplishments, academic and otherwise, which makes a human being more wholesome. At the same time, it has to be an enjoyable experience, and hence, you will look forward to further education and the challenges that you will come across in life, and be able to shape your aspirations to the society that you will eventually go into. It will not all be easy. It's not, it's a very competitive world out there. Sometimes it can be harsh and challenging. Sometimes it can be easy and friendly. You will have to be prepared for it, and one of our key responsibilities is to prepare you emotionally for the world that you will go into. In the present education system, we are a CBSE school. We are affiliated to the CBSE board. There is a CBSE curriculum. Most schools in our current system, to whichever board we are affiliated to, runs to a timetable. Children or prepared by their parents, or when they grown up reasonably, they get ready, they commute to the school and get into the classrooms, and they go through what has been already timetabled. And while we have managed to create some space and freedom within the constraints of the timetable, and I'll talk about it in a few moments, most schools, almost all schools, work within this framework, because at the end of the school hours, they have to commute back home. So we said, we have to make sure, I mean, it's our belief systems can change from school to school, that we should not burden children with lots of homework, lots of assignments to take home, and then once they go home, after a long day, they're busy doing their homework and assignments, and parents, after their busy working day and a tiring day, or mostly helping them with doing assignments and homework. And by the time they finish, they're so tired it's time to go to bed. To actually build a kind of a full personality, and for them to be be able to easily get into the society it's as important, school education and what they do in school and achieving excellence in what they do in school is important. It's also important that when they get back home, they have time with family, they have time to spend with friends in the neighborhood, maybe watch some TV, good programs, Nat Geo or Discovery, and not get worried about and kind of spend lots of hours doing their homework and assignments, etc. Many times I've experienced that when children are given challenging projects to do and they take that home, parents will have to actually help them do the projects. And sometimes probably parents do it all and the children will have to carry it to the school. So we started with wanting to be different when we started our school, and when we built this campus as well, we kept a lot of this in mind. The career opportunities today and opportunities for further education and higher education has changed enormously. I graduated from school in 1979, and that's like ages ago. At that point in time, the reforms had not yet kicked in. So we had very limited opportunities, even though I went to a school which was open-minded, experiential learning, truly, and I enjoyed going to school. But we were not exposed to the kind of further education possibilities. It was limited. Lot of our further education opportunities were kind of templated and regimented. You do your school, you do your 12th, and then you write a competitive exam, CET, or something else. At that point in time, it was purely based on marks. And then you get into you become a doctor, first preference, or you become an engineer, next preference. The kind of value that parents and families would attach, because it's very important. The thinking of parents and family greatly influences students at that age. It's a formative age, right? It was a very templated, regimented thing where you could almost predict what one would become. To today, the world of opportunities is in front of you. It's truly global. As some of you awardees earlier today have the opportunity to visit CERN, spend 2 weeks there, visit the MIT campus and spend some time there. One of you have already got a full scholarship at Rice University. So we are opening up to education opportunities, not only in India, but globally. I know of students who've gone to Germany for further education, gone to Prague for further education. Language is not anymore a barrier. Culture is not anymore a barrier. Travel is not anymore a barrier. Exposure or lack of it, exposure is not anymore a barrier. So I would encourage students, teachers, particularly parents, to be more open-minded, think of immense possibilities that are in front of your children, not only from an education perspective, from also a career perspective. Today, the businesses and is a global opportunity. Whether one wants to become an entrepreneur or a working professional, there are no boundaries there. You could actually be anywhere in this world, and the opportunities are immense. So we should aspire to give our children that quality experience, and then kind of work closely with them to get them to align to certain career goals and successfully move towards those career goals. Currently, I sometimes feel a little disappointed that the curriculum that drives our school education system could have been more flexible in many ways. And I'll talk about a couple of things here. I think the world is looking at everything becoming interdisciplinary. I have always said there is so much chemistry in biology, there is so much math in physics, there is so much physics in biology. What it means is it's becoming interdisciplinary. If you look at what potentially will be the areas of education and areas of opportunities globally, it could be something to do with climate change, environmental studies. It could be a combination of physics and biological sciences to do genetic engineering. So we are going to be today's students of in the school system will have to start thinking about, and the parents will have to start thinking about interdisciplinary areas which are emerging. And you want to look at opportunities, careers in those areas, which also means you will have to prepare for that. We at Excel Public School are very conscious that this is the direction that the world is moving towards. We can't do this full scale within the framework of the curriculum, but we've, the innovation lab, our labs, the learning activities, the learning events, and the strong connect between the teacher community and the learning design team at Excelsoft. All of this is designed to create interdisciplinary experiences and for you to get to appreciate where all this is going and what you should be planning. The other thing is our systems hitherto have not really encouraged innovation, creativity, design thinking. We have encouraged academic excellence. We are proud of scores. We are now, as Mr. Matthew was saying, I can see so many different areas, sports, social sciences, etc., where our children are excelling. I think it's very important. I think we have to open up our minds and say it's not just medicine and engineering. There is so much to do in social sciences area. There's so much to learn from history. There is so much in literature, economics. So I think we should open up our minds to these various possibilities. And as Excel Public School, we will strive hard to create that awareness and appreciation to look at the world of opportunities, which is more diversified than just doing, wanting to be a doctor. Nothing wrong with it, but we don't have to limit our aspirations and thinking to just be a doctor or an engineer. if, what the country needs today, and we also heard it from Mr. Narayan Murthy last evening, is innovation, innovative thinking, creativity, leadership in different areas, leadership in defense, leadership in governance, leadership in entrepreneurship. So India as a country, as he said, we should aspire to become leaders and set benchmarks in different sectors. And that has to start now. When children are at school, we have to bring that awareness to them and get them to appreciate that this is really what the country requires today. We need game changers. You've heard of countries, particularly in the West, where there have been individuals, there have been institutions, and there have been companies who are game changers globally. Google is a game changer globally, right? Amazon is a game changer globally of what how you can shop online, buy online, sell online, etc. There are some individuals who have been game changers. I think we need more and more people in India who will be the game changers of the future, and that's required for this country. Again, these thoughts will have to get seeded at schools, at this age group, parents, so that they encourage children to become game changers in the future. As I said, the education system is set for a change. Education paradigms are shifting, changing. We can't be left behind in this country. I'm sure many of you would have read about the school system in Finland, for instance. They are supposed to have the best school system in the world and most successful school system in the world. There are great ideas to borrow from their system. They start late. They don't start at the age group at which we start our lower kindergarten. They start late. Education is free, completely sponsored by the government. The teaching learning processes, once they go into school much later than our children go into school, is different. Teachers are not instructors there, they are facilitators. Even the way in which a classroom is organized is different. It's more about round tables and a few students sitting around the round table. The teacher is really a facilitator. They come and facilitate group activities, and children, by doing group activities and by actually practicing doing stuff, learn a lot. And they've been a great example, and there are things that our education system can borrow from the Finnish system. We went to Sweden, as part of Excelsoft. Some of us, we were working with an education company in Sweden. And again, their school system is different. They don't believe in giving out exams, giving out tests. They assess the students as an overall human being, and I think we've done a little bit of that with recognizing some of our students based on the parameters Mrs. Gumain talked about. So I think it's time for change. Even the U.S. system, the U.S. school system is not known to be very great. Obviously, higher education system is extraordinarily good. Even they have realized that they need change. There was a big push to kind of standardize school education system via Common Core standards, and they're still doing that. It's a journey. Two more things. Is it okay? I'm nearly done. Okay. I think entrepreneurship is very important at this point in time in the country. We want more and more entrepreneurs, more and more small and medium companies. We would like entrepreneurs to create jobs and opportunities and not just be working professionals. I had a couple of more things, but I know I've overshot my time. Role of technology is becoming very important in education. Maybe I'll get another occasion to talk about that. Thank you, Mr. Matthew, for giving me this opportunity today. Thank you all for the patient listening. My apologies to His Highness. I overshot my time limit, but thank you all.